What's up, y'all? We were a while back on Prep to Protect radio podcast, and they got me thinking about all of the different things that we do in ways of preparedness on a daily preparedness and survivability upgrade point basis with the considerations that the canines bring into it. And we weren't only talking about, working dogs and military LEO dogs. We were also talking about your everyday pet dogs and what you can do to help keep your family's furry friend prepared. So that really got me thinking about my everyday preparedness mobility loadout and what that kind of looks like. So I'm just going to do a quick rig walk around for my Nissan NV200. So Nissan NV200, nothing crazy, not awesome four-wheel drive off-road overlanding guy, but what it is a very compact structure and system to be able to carry 5 dogs in crates on the road with me when we're traveling to trials and seminars and workshops and things like that, or to client locations or training locations or anything that we do on a daily basis. We're constantly in mobility, and we want to make sure that the dogs are safe. But also a huge thing that came out of that podcast is making sure that your preparedness plan for your dogs does not go in direct detriment to your own preparedness plan. For example, like being like, oh, I don't need to have extra dog food on hand. If something goes wrong, I'll just feed my dogs my food. Yeah, well, now you're eating less food. So having enough backup food for yourself and for the dog is going to be helpful. So this is my preparedness mobility platform. We have normal type of mobility preparedness items that are going to be good. Shovel, axe, saw for cutting down trees, which I have done on my way out to places. Is there's just a freaking tree in the road. We live here in Colorado, so pretty much if I'm going to go anywhere, I have to drive through the mountains, and the mountains can be a treacherous place. We have a lot of snow, so shoveling vehicles out of a training location is not something that we've never done before. But in general, the dog stuff, we have these type of electronic rechargeable flares. I got these on Amazon. We'll have links for this stuff probably in the video. These are really nice because whenever I'm like stopped on the side of the road, even if it's like a potty break, but there has been times that we've had vehicle issues that I've been able to do this and then magnet it to the outside of the vehicle, because I don't want anyone ramming into my vehicle, but especially I don't want anyone ramming into a vehicle filled with generations of training and very valuable precious cargo in the form of these dogs. So being able to add these flares to the situation is extremely helpful. I have 4 Ruffland large size crates here, impact rated with fan systems. This is a custom fan that one of my friends made for me. This attaches to my Goal Zero battery pack, which is also what I use to charge like my phone for directions or stuff like that. But that battery can run this fan all day at a very high rate. And then I have also 5 other dedicated rigid fans and all of the batteries. I pack out hella batteries. With the batteries that I carry, I'm able to run all of these fans for 3 straight days with no problem. So it's going to keep the dogs cool. The other thing that helps keep the dogs cool, I know all of you that are in the game already know this, these reflective like covers. So these are basically like emergency, this one's like basically an emergency reflective blanket, but you can just put these on top of your car if you don't have shade, and it can reflect the sun's rays back away from your vehicle, and it does keep the vehicle substantially cooler. One of the advantages to running the dogs in a van that I didn't get when I ran the dogs in a truck is that I can close the doors and run the AC off of just the petrol supply that I have in the car. So that is a nice thing, but one of the disadvantages is now the inside of the van, the front windshield is also a factor. So this is just one of those normal $5 from Walmart front windshield covers for the shade. The other thing I have that I like to carry is this hunter's shade, and that's exactly what I use it for. So this is nice because hunters use it for shade as a blind, and I like to put mine up like this, but up here, and make a shade for the rays of sun not beating directly into my van, onto the dogs, into their crates like that. So I put the hunter shade up there for that. I also have another one of these reflective blankets, a snow scraper and ice scraper, Happy Days Colorado, and a foldable chair for training fields, and also a foldable place bed. So that's actually a hunter place bed. It's a Mud River place bed, and it is designed for swamps and for hunting dogs. So it has feet that come up and elevate it. That one's really nice to be able to run my dogs in a group of other dogs that maybe I don't trust so much, because it gets my dogs elevated away from those dogs and kind of gives more separation in elevation to those dogs just running up to my dogs and smashing them in the face or biting them or doing whatever. Ray Allen Buddy Bowl. This is a must-have. I have one for every crate so that the dogs can have water while we're driving. These things, it's great. This thing has water in it and it doesn't dump. So if the dog flips it over, that's an issue. But also while driving, I don't have water sloshing out of this thing, and the dogs can have direct access to clean, fresh water at all times. This is the Gunner food bowl. I like it. I don't use this for like a food bowl as much as I keep it for extra backup food storage. So this is just filled with some kibble. I have puppy kibble in here, which is a little bit more fatty than the adult kibble, which is good for a situation where it's like, dang it, we ran out of food. I have backup food. So I don't really use this food. I constantly cycle it out so that it doesn't go bad. But I always like to have at least this bowl of food. And if I had 5 dogs in here, then everybody gets a little over a cup. And that can at least, you know, get us home, because we're probably not a crazy distance away from the house if we drove to a trial or something. Extra water supply. Again, this is a freaking Amazon special. I just have this for filling up the buddy bowls, and I always carry the extra water mainly for the dogs, but if I run out of water myself, this is how the preparedness plan can come in for me, because I can also drink this water. It's not dog water until I give it to the dogs, so it's just clean, fresh water, and I can drink it if I need. I have an extra pop-up chair back there as well, and a fire extinguisher up here. We're in and around vehicles and an engine, and we have dogs, so having a fire extinguisher that is specifically made for vehicle fires is cool. And also, you're driving around, if you see a fire on the side of the road, you can help somebody. So having different preparedness items, not just for the dogs, but integrating the dog into your preparedness schedule. This is one of those like aisle buys at the auto shop. This is just a simple light, but I have a better one up here. This is just a Milwaukee magnetic light, and I keep it up here so that I can see what I'm doing at nighttime or in low light when I'm feeding the dogs or giving them water or breaking them in and out of the vehicles. Each one of these crates is designated to a specific dog, and here I have just some extra long lines. That's going to be important equipment. Just this little traffic tab, right? It's in the vehicle, so we should have a traffic tab in our vehicle probably. This is just for, you know, moving dogs around and all of that type of stuff. On the outside, the Chuck It, which is their favorite game to play. And if you're part of Ray Allen Run Club, you know why Matt Wilson put this red bandana on Shenzi's crate. So yeah. I also have retractable leashes. These are mainly for breaking dogs. When we're on the side of the road or at a pit stop or something like that when we're driving. So that's a beautiful thing to have extra retractable leashes. Atlas's service dog vest. If you guys watched the Atlas service dog video, then you know about her harness. So I just have her service dog harness back here so that we can run that if and when we need to. I think that is everything back here. Oh yeah, well, I have extra. This is from Buc-ee's. Just an extra bowl. And some extra platter sticks for if we are doing the whole decoy thing. We'll go around to the side. Okay, around to the side, I have this Goal Zero light, which comes in clutch for when we're training and then the sun goes down. So this thing basically can cast a 100-foot light beam around, so we can just put it in the middle of the training field, and then we have light like it's daytime when we go late on training sessions. This is my trial box. So my trial box is everything that I need to go to a trial is in this box. So as long as I have this box and myself and my dog, then we can be at a trial. So as far as an organization preparedness point, this is everyday preparedness, right? The last thing I want is to get to a trial and be like, oh, I left my scorebook at home or my dog's scorebook at home. This, having a trial box is very, very helpful. This is the Plano box. We'll put a Amazon link in the description, but this is my trial box. So I have, for all of my trialing dogs, extra fur savers. So I have fur savers that I train with. These are the fur savers that I have for trial for both sizes of my trialing dogs at the time. I have a couple of extra zip ties. I have a very good friend who is often needing these, so I keep them with me because every time he asks for one, so that he can help buckle his shoes. I have them. This is a pretty cool little thing. Dog deodorant and freshener spray. Look your best, smell your best, feel your best, perform your best. Trial approved leashes. All of them have been tested that they can go to the live ring of my fur saver and the dead ring on my flat collar. You guys know why, if you are trialing. So these all three are custom made for me by Harmon Leatherworks. He is awesome over there. And there's a lot of mana in these leashes because these, anytime I trial, these are the leashes that I use. So these are not only trial approved leashes that are good, but these are at this point, you know, family heirlooms and something that I'm going to hold on to after, you know, this chapter of my life is finished. I also have a 10-foot slip leash for training sessions on open field or the night before trial or something like that. Muzzle. And my score books. So, yeah. That's pretty much all that's in the trial box right now. If I am taking something to a specific trial, then I might put it in this box just in case, like my trial shirt or something like that. Have it in this box so that I have it with me. Water is a big one, dude. Like, freaking keep your dogs hydrated. Always have extra water. It's something that sucks to run out of. And yeah, you can hit a gas station, but I always like to think like, hey, you might not be able to get there. This is a sample bag of kinetic dog food that I got from Ian, which is nice, to just keep in here for extra food, unopened bag, like all of that, just extra food as well, carrying that. I have, you know, the big bags of it, but I just carry the sample bag for if I or somebody else needs food. I've done that a lot where people forget their food and they're like, hey, do you have extra food? And it's like, yeah, I always keep extra food. Gloves for cleaning. Out crates and stuff. So yeah, in here I have a bunch of like cleaning stuff, just like baby wipes and disinfectant wipes and stuff like that for cleaning crates and taking care of that. I also back here have my extra food store for drive-in snacks. So like freeze-dried berries, these keep well in a vehicle. Some peanut butter powder, which that, I mean, you could mix that together with some water for some dogs or whatever. Some Element electrolyte powder. Keep me hydrated. A bunch of like Trader Joe's snacks, dried fruits and stuff like that keeps nice in the car. You don't want like nasty food. Go over to the other side real quick. The other side, this is my 5th crate. That's a Goji's crate. I have a bigger bag of puppy food. Food's important. A little puppy sleeve for in case any impromptu puppies get work or something like that. And here is my designated canine medical bag. Maybe we'll shoot a longer form video of that, but a couple of important things to think about. This is a medical bag specifically tailored towards use for the dogs. So a couple things to consider for that. You need to have a medical muzzle. I have found on the outside. I used to keep this thing inside of a pouch. Through usage over the years, keep this thing, I've learned from experience, on the outside. What the fuck are you doing? She thinks we're going to work. Keep this thing on the outside of the pouch because you will not be able to administer any aid. Shenzi, come here. To any dogs if you cannot, if that dog is biting you. You won't be able to help the dog. But some other stuff in here. I mean, we got snake bite kits, ace bandages, some hair trimmers for shaving around the site of a wound or anything like that. We have a lot of stuff. Worthless handlers, denying death patch, which if you run that patch on the outside of your canine medical kit, it increases their chances of survival. I think it's scientifically proven. In here, this is going to be a mess. All right, Shenzi, what are you doing? Okay, well then move out of the way though. This is some stuff. My loadouts are constantly changing, so this is some stuff that I am taking out of the vehicle actually and putting it in the backpack that we just shot a video for. So this is the base LTC Live the Creeds base med kit, which is nice. Some goon tape and some trauma shears that I used to keep in the car, but there's too much redundancy there and not enough in the backpack. So this is a Ray Allen bungee that we've been using for the puppies, and this is a designated medical bag for humans for myself. So obviously I have double medical kit. There is Passover, but if it's a human in need, I want to be able to grab the human bag because there are some different considerations for dogs and humans, right? So that's more designed for like human injuries, and that is more designed for dog injuries. You could grab both if you need it. A little trash can, and then this is my preparedness bag for vehicle stuff. So in there's like extra windshield wiper fluid, tire repair kit, stuff like that. Jump boxes for batteries. That's really nice. And then an extra rattle jug. This panel is something that I really like. This is the Fieldcraft Survival panel that if I unzip this, it can turn into a backpack, and then I can patrol away from my vehicle with all of the contents of this panel that I have ready access via these Velcro pouches with. So there's no undoing Molly, no undoing any of that stuff. Each pouch is different. So this one I have like water purification and fire starting. So storm matches, extra lighters, water purification tablets, stuff like that. This one is like a emergency toiletries thing. So talking about everyday preparedness, guys, this is normal stuff that I like need. Extra deodorant, extra floss, extra toothbrush, little toothpaste, like some mouthwash. This is like, hey, I spent one night more than I expected to out at this trial or at this workshop, or we got snowed in or something happened. So I just have normal toiletry stuff so that I'm not smelling like dogs and just disgusting, that I can just take a shower. And if somebody's like nice enough to let me crash at their house, or if I stop at a hotel, I have that type of stuff. Bug spray and like wet wipes and just stuff like that. So think of like, it's not always zombie apocalypse stuff that we're preparing for, right? Like most often it's just like some plan just went south real quick on you, and you just need to freaking fix it. So with that, I have extra food. In this one down here is more like of a camp situation. So stuck on the side of the road, which is, again, it's a probability. Extra pair of wool socks, a little fire starter, some things to make a little campfire, some zip ties, some extra food, a little mess kit to eat that food, and like, dude, I'm stuck on the side of the road and I'm kind of hungry. Boom, we're right there. And then an extra medical pouch. Guys, we work with dogs, and dogs are predators, and dogs bite people, and they put holes in people. So medical. This is a pretty kitted out type of medical kit, but it's specifically tailored towards injuries that are likely to experience in a vehicle, which is why I carry it in a vehicle. So SAM splint, burn dressing, stuff like that, any type of car crash or something like that. This is what we're reaching for. I have an extra pair of shears in here. And all of this is in ready access to my driver's seat, right? This isn't the freaking family mobile. This is me and dogs are who's in here. And then sometimes people like need a freaking ride. So I just pop this, move it. They could sit here and we can go to dinner and then it's done. This is also like just some extra stuff like bug net, some gloves. You should have gloves, some bug spray, and I'm very like I'm kind of granola of a person, so this is bug spray, but it's Madagascar vanilla, which if you've ever spent any time in the African bush, fun fact, vanilla will attract elephants and repel mosquitoes. So if you put this stuff on, you're having a pretty good night. Some cordage, stuff like that. Extra tourniquet and live the creeds, get home alive bag. So this is something that I really like. It's pretty much kitted out with anything you need to get home alive in an austere circumstance. More tourniquets, a little fan for if I crack the window and want that airflow to go back into there, then that's going to be good. This is like just like a catch-all ready pack that I have velcroed up here. So we have like freaking mints for talking to people without stanky breath. Boot bags, iPhone chargers. I don't have an iPhone, but a lot of people need iPhone charging. Some hot sauce and like freaking electrolyte packets. All of the type of stuff that I'm not going to flip this over, but like all the type of stuff that I would need to get pulled over, like my insurance, stuff like that, is in here. And one more on the other side. And in the driver's seat, we have the Malinois. She is in charge of driving. So driver's seat, obviously, this is going to be where the magic happens. I don't think we're allowed to talk about this stuff on YouTube, but some ready things for in case I need extra candy for certain tools that I carry. We have this thing that reads the codes if your check engine light comes on, and that's like the worst feeling ever and you don't know why. So this tells you why. So that's going to be helpful. Some leather gloves, and then I have this ready panel up here. So again, everyday preparedness. This is just like normal stuff, like a nail file and a beard brush and some like essential oils. Make me feel good, you know, just getting ready to go give a seminar, talk for 8 hours, and I just don't want to feel like crap. Another medical kit within immediate access to the driver's seat, another pair of shears, and then this is all like little stuff. So honestly, like I carry this spoon. Like how many times have you guys gone through a drive-through and they forgot to give you silverware? Like everyday preparedness stuff. This increases my my standard of life to not have to be like, my food is now uneatable because they forgot to give me a fork and I'm running late to wherever I'm going. No, I got something right here, so it's all good. Like dental floss. These are one thing that a lot of preparedness I see. It's not common. Earplugs, right? Earplugs. Use your imagination. But if we're doing a lot of this stuff that we are preparing for, right? And yeah, I get it. Not all situation that might choose me gives me the time to put these earplugs in. But if they're in ready access right here and I could just put them in real quick, we're good to go. Also, I've spent a night in this van with Tommy, my decoy, on the way back from Tennessee, right? These earplugs were great because Tommy talked in his sleep. Don't tell him I told you that. This stuff up here, readiness. This is just like an extra backpack, nothing too special. But I have a change of clothes in here, which again, if I end up spending one more night somewhere than I wanted to, then it's great to have an extra change of clothes. But also in here, amongst the change of clothes, I have extra cold weather gear. So we're in Colorado. The weather decides to change very quickly. So if I left the house for a training session and I wasn't so much prepared for the weather that day is giving us, then I have cold weather gear in here. I also have rain gear in here to waterproof myself. I have a wool survival blanket. That's great. I have spent many nights in this car just sleeping with this wool survival blanket. It is a very, very warm. What else do I have? An extra Incantani K9 hoodie. Okay, very important in case I need a hoodie and didn't wear one out. And then in here, this waterproof bag in here is waterproof gear, like rain poncho and stuff like that, because we train in all weathers. So just because it started raining doesn't mean the training session is over. So if I can throw a poncho on real quick, be good to go. I have extra gloves and wet wipes and extra socks and all types of stuff up there. Honestly, it's a lot more than probably I need, but it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And that's kind of the idea. That's kind of the idea that I adhere to when it comes to everyday preparedness in my mobility rig, because I have the ability to pack out my van filled with all the bells and whistles and redundancies and every random thing. Whereas when it comes to my daily carry, like on my own person, it's really only those things that I need to reach for like 10 or more times a day that I'm really gonna commit to my pockets. So usually in my pockets, it realistically, let's be honest, it's my phone, my Zins, and my knife, like, and my tourniquet. But on my person, those are the things that I'm like carrying on me every day. And then, so in my fanny pack, yeah, I want to keep it light and fleet, but you can pack 10 pairs of socks in your car. Why not? Why not? All right. Anyways, hopefully this is helpful. Start thinking the direction of your own family preparedness plan, your own K9 preparedness plan, and how that all works together. And as always, remember that it's about everyday preparedness. It's not just about preparing for the zombie apocalypse. Stay sharp, be safe, guys.